Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I'm very happy to have you here, guys. Today I briefly want to share somewhat my first impressions on two fragrances from Lattafa. Both are more recent launches. I have here YARA Candy. I received quite a few questions about this fragrance, so yes, today I will let you know what I think about it. And I also have here a fragrance that I was so curious to try myself, you guys. I have here ANGHAM by Lattafa. This is their take on the DNA of Burberry Her. So let's just start, you guys. Have you tried any of these two fragrances? What do you think about them? I saw this fragrance, you guys. So many reels have mentioned this fragrance whenever I go on Instagram. If by chance I would end up, let's just say, on a reel talking about Middle Eastern fragrances, this would be there. So I had a lot of curiosity about it because I love the DNA of Burberry Her. And also, let's just say my expectations were pretty high in regards to this fragrance. Perhaps a little bit too high, I don't know, but let's talk about it. So you guys, I will spray these fragrances on paper, but I've tried both of them multiple times on my skin. So let's start. Here are the notes for ANGHAM. I will add them here on the screen. And let me tell you. Now, first things first, this smells better in the air in the opening than up close. Up close in the opening, I don't like it. Yeah. In the air, surprisingly, like the type of scent that lingers in the air, it smells much more smooth and harmonious, I would say. But this fragrance, so in the opening, I detect a small dose of something like a powdery ginger accord that adds a little bit of spiciness, but it's not that refreshing ginger, let's just say, that feels very energizing and revigorating, you know, like a freshly cut ginger. To me, it's more that powdered ginger, so it does have a gentle, almost like a sweet and spicy undertone about it. With lavender, you guys. Now look, bear in mind something I have to mention before I talk about this fragrance. I am not a fan of lavender. I was never a fan of lavender in fragrances. I find it a pretty hard to digest type of note. It can feel pretty overwhelming, pretty overpowering, and it's the type of, like, if you have a lavender accord, best believe it will be noticeable, you know. I have some fragrances where I could go past the lavender accord, but usually it's because it's balanced by a lot of sweetness. But here in the opening, you guys, you get that powdery spicy ginger with a touch of something sweet and a very full-bodied and present and complex lavender accord that feels, first of all, it feels very aromatic. Almost, I don't know why in the opening it has this mentholated green quality about it as well, which emphasizes even more that aromatic facet of the lavender and makes it stand out even more, let's just say, amongst all the other notes. And also I detect a gentle essential oil-esque quality about it, and all this together kind of make this fragrance feel in the opening a little bit too overpowering for my taste. And this is scent-wise. Now, texture-wise, you guys, I don't know why, but this fragrance feels so... It's strong in the opening, for sure. It's a very strong fragrance, but I feel like the strength comes with the price, and the price is that it feels a little bit sharp and, let's just say, not the most harmonious blend in the opening. Yeah, this is why I said maybe I had too high expectations on this fragrance. I'm not really sure why, but yeah, I don't know, you guys. I have such mixed thoughts about this fragrance. On one hand, I do like how it smells, especially in the air and on my skin, but on my skin only in the last bits of the dry down left. But with the opening I'm struggling, with the heart I'm still struggling a little bit, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just me because I'm not really a lavender fan, like I've mentioned. But let me go back to describing how the fragrance smells like, and then I will tell you what I think about it. So in the opening is definitely the lavender. That's the main attraction, I would say. It kind of overpowers the other notes, even though I am able to perceive a little bit of a powdery gingery accord that again adds this spicy sweet facet. And something, imagine this very aromatic, borderline essential oil-esque lavender sits on a base of a creamy dense vanilla. However, in the opening, the creamy vanilla doesn't even get a chance to fully shine because it feels a little bit suffocated by how pronounced and by how strong the lavender is in this fragrance in the opening. Slowly but surely, as the fragrance develops, I would say that first of all, you lose that essential oil-esque quality about the lavender. And I'm glad you lose it because I don't think it was contributing much to the scent profile in a positive way, at least to my nose. I also don't detect at all that mentholated green facet that I got in the opening. Again, I don't know where that could be coming from. By the way, if you have tried this fragrance and you get a same feeling, definitely let me know. But I'd say the ratio between the lavender and the vanilla starts to change a little bit. And the vanilla, though it's not a very dark vanilla at this moment on in the heart, but it gets much more sweet, much more dense, and much more noticeable. I'd say it definitely moves forward. And the lavender now acts more like an accent to that vanilla accord to add a little bit of diversity, to add a little bit of complexity, but it doesn't feel like it overshines the vanilla. And I have to say, from this moment on, I do start to like how this fragrance smells like. But somehow, let me tell you something, you guys. So basically, when it comes to Burberry Her, I have smelled it in my local Sephora multiple times. I do really like how the fragrance smells like, and I'm really, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I really appreciate what they did with the vanilla accord there. Like, if someone were to ask me what's the most emblematic part of Burberry Her, like the part that makes Burberry Her, I would say is the vanilla, the way the vanilla is done, because the vanilla accord there feels extremely robust, extremely full-bodied, extremely dense and dark, you guys. You have something from a vanilla pod there, so it is sweet, but it's a darker type of sweetness with that gentle, almost balsamic vanilla pod quality, but without fully going into the balsamic direction. So it's like you have something from a vanilla pod with something from an aged vanilla essence. That's the vanilla accord I detect in Burberry Her. And then as an accent, you have that lavender facet. Now, what I feel like Lattafa did here, they made the lavender really, let's just say they truly highlighted the lavender. And I do think if you're a fan of lavender, you will not struggle with this. But if you're not a fan of lavender and fragrances like me, most likely you might struggle with this fragrance as well. Like I am struggling. I don't know how I would feel, because look, I do think it needs, let's just say 20-25 minutes to get to a place where I truly enjoy how it smells like, and I smell it and I'm actually like, oh, I really like how this smells like. But then this is with like 1 or 2 sprays on my skin and I feel like it overpowers. I find it overpowering, you know. But I'm only thinking, what if I were to overspray this fragrance and do like 15, 20, 25 sprays? Then I would be working with a cloud of lavender essential oil around me. I don't know how I feel about this, you guys. Yeah, and it's only in the last bit of the dry down where I've noticed that that the vanilla accord goes darker and it starts to resemble more and more that vanilla accord that you have in Burberry Goddess. I hope I kept saying Burberry Goddess and not Burberry Her, because for some reason, I don't know, I mix up the names. See, I feel like for my taste, if the lavender would have been so highlighted and it's not just you have there a pinch of lavender, because a pinch or two of lavender, I can tolerate it. But to me, they made the lavender accord feel so layered and nuanced and multifaceted with so many different accents to the lavender accord that made it feel extremely complex, present and full-bodied. And again, I am struggling with this facet. I can't say that this is a bad fragrance, because I don't think it is. Like, it smells, I can see why it's such a liked fragrance. I do not own Burberry Her, so I'm not able to compare them side by side, but I will tell you this, from what I remember, Burberry Her again, oh my god, Burberry Goddess, Burberry Goddess, from what I remember Burberry Goddess to smell like, I told you, to my nose, the vanilla accord was much more dark. Again, a little bit of something from a vanilla pod with a little bit of something from an aged vanilla essence. Whereas here, the vanilla feels creamy and dense and rich, not very dark in the heart. It gets darker in the dry down. I do start to detect something from a vanilla pod with something from a vanilla essence mixed together. This accord feels extremely rich, very dense, very layered. But it's just in the last bit of the dry down that I detect this aspect. So you guys, I don't know, I'm on the fence when it comes to this fragrance. I don't know what to tell you. I feel like I still haven't made up my mind if I like it or not. I feel like I need to wear this fragrance more to be able to come and share you like my final thoughts about this fragrance. But also, see, I'm curious to see how this decant will develop once I let it sit a little bit. Because see, here is the fragrance and I have only sprayed it to test it briefly. It's interesting because here on paper it's not even as harsh, the opening I'm talking about, and I feel like it quickly gets to that part where the vanilla really shines. And it's nice, you guys, it's a really nice pairing. Also, I don't know why I'm getting something from a patchouli accord that adds something green and aromatic to the blend. even though I don't remember patchouli being listed in the notes breakdown. But to me, I'd say it smells like a lavender accord, something from a lavender essential oil with a beautiful creamy dense rich vanilla that gets darker as it develops, something from a patchouli accord that adds almost this green aromatic but a very gentle type of aromatic accord. And yeah, I don't think I smell the cocoa powder. I wish I would have picked up more of the cocoa powder. All in all, this fragrance feels pretty complex, pretty dark, pretty dense, pretty rich. It's just in the opening I find it a little bit too sharp, too unbalanced to me. Like when I smell this fragrance in the opening, it low-key triggers my headaches a little bit, and I don't know why. But it feels, yeah, it feels a little bit too abrupt, too abrasive, too, you know what I mean? But then it gets back on track, especially from the heart till the dry down. It's really beautiful. But yeah, I don't know how I feel about this fragrance yet, you guys. I don't know. I feel like I have to go and smell Burberry Goddess. I was almost tempted to say Burberry Her. I feel like I have to go and smell Burberry Goddess again and perhaps compare it side by side. But I don't remember the lavender shining that much in Burberry Goddess. I remember acting more, of course it was one of the most dominant accords, but it was done in a bit of a different way than what Lattafa did with this lavender accord. And yeah, I have mixed feelings, and again, low-key triggers my headaches a little bit. I don't know why. And usually I don't really get headaches from this type of fragrances. I get headaches from very green fragrances. I get headaches from very floral dominant fragrances, but from this type of fragrances, yeah. I don't know why, but those were my thoughts about this fragrance, you guys. Please, if you have tried it, let me know what you think about the fragrance. Do you find the lavender accord to be overpowering for your taste? Do you find it just enough? Do you like what the lavender adds here? How do you find the opening? Do you find it a little bit too sharp? Does it trigger your headaches? Do you love it? Is it one of your staples by now? Let me know what you think about the fragrance, because I would love to hear your feedback on the fragrance. So, briefly mentioning the energy of this fragrance, modern, feminine with a sensuality about it, you guys. I think it's the way the vanilla accord is done here. Modern because of the lavender. It adds this modern touch to the fragrance, but very sensual and mysterious because of the vanilla. But it's a very, like, minus how the lavender accord is done, I feel like this DNA in particular is a very easy to enjoy and a very trendy and trending fragrance or DNA for the lovers of vanilla fragrances, like for all the vanilla girlies. Now let's move on to YARA Candy, you guys, and let me tell you how this fragrance smells like. So this fragrance, it's one of the most realistic, especially in the opening, gummy bear fragrances, or like fragrances that highlight a gummy bear accord. But you know what type of gummy bear? First of all, imagine you have a packet with different flavors of gummy bear. You have something lemony and citrusy, you have something that's like strawberry flavored, you have a gummy bear that's like a green apple flavored, you have a gummy bear that's like grape flavor. I don't know why I get all of these fruity facets in the opening, but that specific gummy bear style, if you know what I mean. So it's a little bit of an airy, like fruity type of sweetness. And you know those gummy bears, I will add here some photos, or those gummy bears in general that kind of make your mouth pucker because they have this like acidic sour sugar coating around them, and when you taste them they make your mouth go like, you know what I mean. You have a little bit of this facet as well, so I would say you have a gentle tangy, like a zingy tanginess about the fragrance, but I'd say this is more noticeable in the opening. So this opens up with a fruity accord that feels very diverse to me. I told you, something from a gummy bear with lemon, a gummy bear with green apple, a gummy bear with strawberry, a gummy bear with grapes, and that tangy, mouth-puckering facet. And I get in the opening some gentle floral-like facets, a little bit of something musky, breezy. I'd say the fragrance in the opening feels a little bit more airy and gummy bear style, you know, so it's definitely more airy. However, as this fragrance develops on your skin, from feeling airy, feels more candid, I would say, and the fragrance goes very dense, and it has this underlying candy sweetness about it. I don't know why, you guys, when I was smelling this fragrance, I was low-key thinking that it would smell like hair confection from Paris Corner, but they don't smell alike at all to me. No, this smells like gummy bears and then candies. But what I appreciate about this fragrance, let's just say 20-25 minutes in, you know what happens, you guys? You slowly but surely lose some of the airiness and all those diverse fruity facets, and to me, the fruity accord that shines the most, let's just say past the 25-minute mark, is the strawberry, you guys. And the strawberry not only feels a little bit candied, let's just say in the hard part, but I also start to detect a little bit of vanilla. And I'd say like 25-30 minutes in, on my skin, it starts to smell like strawberry and banana milkshake. Like legit, you guys, strawberry banana milkshake. I don't know why I get this milkshake quality about the fragrance. Maybe it's because of the way the vanilla is done here with the strawberry and with the way the sandalwood is done here. Maybe the sandalwood is more of a milky sandalwood. Like when I smell this fragrance, I can't say, oh, I'm thinking of a milky sandalwood accord. No. It's just when I smell this fragrance, I'm thinking of a banana and strawberry milkshake. Those like artificial flavors of banana and strawberry in a milkshake format with a little bit of vanilla. So the fragrance got overall much denser, like the texture of the fragrance has changed. It got much creamier, borderline lactonic, but again, not whipped cream, condensed milk, not that type of lactonic. Lactonic in a milkshake type of way, with a little bit of vanilla and with the strawberry, that's the most dominant facet. Yeah, and something banana like there, I don't know where I get that from, and that touch of vanilla. So I'd say this is a very girly, bubbly, that type of uplifting fragrance. Is the opposite of a serious fragrance. Like when I'm thinking of a serious fragrance, Yara Candy is the opposite of that. Is that type of fragrance that could be like a no-brainer, easy reach, grab and go type of fragrance in the summertime. I'd say it does remind me of body sprays, but in like a good way. Not in the sense that it smells cheap, because I don't think it smells cheap. It just smells very youthful and simplistic and easy to enjoy. Yeah, and if I were to tell you, I do think that the dry down is better than the opening, because I mean, look, I do enjoy the smell of gummy bears, but I don't know if I want to smell like gummy bears. But I do like how the fragrance evolves in the dry down, because I do really like that milkshake facet. I don't know, again, where is it coming from? And I don't know if I'm the only one that picks it. Yeah, maybe it's that combo between the sandalwood with the vanilla, with the strawberry, and this creamy texture that it has that makes me think of a milkshake. But then why do I get the banana-like facet? I don't know, you guys. If you have tried this fragrance, please let me know what you think about the fragrance. How do you find the scent? Do you enjoy it? Do you feel like it leans juvenile? Personally, I do feel like it leans a little bit juvenile, but in a sense, like it's that very uplifting and happy and bubbly and girly type of fragrance, you know? It's that type of fragrance that you could gift it to one of your younger cousins, but you could also wear with yourself, perhaps if you have a taste for this kind of fragrances. But I genuinely feel like, and I would recommend you to do the same, test this fragrance in the summertime. I do think this fragrance needs the hotter the better to fully develop. Right now, smelling this fragrance in winter and having the taste I have, or let's just say craving to wear the type of fragrances I crave to wear in the winter time, I can't really say that I'm wowed by this fragrance, you know? Not that it's like, again, like it reinvents the wheel, but it's that typical effortlessly girly and feminine and bubbly and happy and fun and joyful and giggleish type of fragrance. If you resonate with this style of fragrances, you will enjoy this one. But if you're the type of woman and you prefer in general fragrances that feel more sophisticated, more elegant, more elevated, more refined, I wouldn't say this is your cup of tea. But if you were looking for a fragrance that smells very sweet, very fun, very girly, like I've mentioned all of those attributes, I would actually encourage you to test this fragrance. I don't think it's a bad fragrance. I think it's an acquired taste, not in the sense that it feels challenging by any means, but it's more of an acquired taste. Let's just say that not every day you want to feel this like giggly, bubbly, you know. Perhaps maybe on some days you want to feel more mysterious, on some days you want to feel more confident and powerful, I don't know. But yes, you guys, those were my thoughts about these two fragrances. Look, I have to say this one, Yara Candy, like smoothness wise, is much smoother. Also, I find it a little bit more strong than ANGHAM by Lattafa. But yeah, interesting, you guys. I don't know, it's interesting. See, again, I have a 10 ml decant. I feel like I will let this fragrance sit. Again, I will mention these two fragrances in a maceration update a few months from now, and I will tell you, especially when it comes to ANGHAM, if I have noticed any differences. Fingers crossed I will, you guys, because I do like this DNA, and I do think I do think the dry down is worth it. It's just the opening, not for me, guys, not for me. Unfortunately, it's too much for my taste, way too much. And again, it triggers my headaches for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. I get the hype, but then I don't get it. I don't know. Either it's the batch that I have, and it's a pretty fresh and recent batch that the fragrance was decanted from, so it needs to sit a little bit of time and until the lavender, let's just say, melts within that vanilla accord. But at this moment on, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, test it, definitely test it first, especially if you're not a fan of lavender. Do yourself a favor and test it before you buy it blindly. As for Yara Candy, I don't think this fragrance represents me necessarily, but I do think it's a beautiful fragrance, very girly. It's that type of fragrance that you could easily gift to someone dear in your life. Again, 14, 15 and above, honestly, like sky is the limit. So this is everything I wanted to tell you about these two fragrances. Thank you so much for watching. If you have tried either ANGHAM or Yara Candy, I would absolutely love to hear your feedback on the fragrances. So make sure to put your thoughts on the fragrances in the comment section. So this way, when someone who's interested in purchasing either one of these two fragrances, let's just say when they read the comments and they see your feedback, I'm sure they will find it more than helpful also as well. So yes, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I will see you in my next video. Don't forget you can follow me on Instagram, but until then, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I want to wish you an amazing day wherever you are. Bye, guys.